evening, everybody, and welcome. We're going to be doing a little bit of a Facebook Live on how to do your fair entries, along with doing some updates regarding fair entries. First off, this evening, I want to talk about the fair book. We've had some changes and adjustments with the fair book. So if you are doing open class fair entries, we need you to make sure that you're going off of the green fair book and not the blue fair book. We had a few people that were able to grab the blue fair book that came out earlier this month of June and late May, but there were some issues, changes that ended up not making it into the open class. So junior class, the blue book is fine, but if you are looking at entering your entries for open class, you're going to want to do the green book. If you have gone online and looked at your the individual departments, those were always correct. It was just the fair book itself that had some issues. Actually, I had quite a few issues, to be honest with you. But we've got it corrected, and now we are looking forward to fair entries. Fair entries are due on June 25th. That is coming up very quickly. We would like you to try to get those entries in as soon as possible. And I am here to help you tonight to make sure that happens and that gets done. So in regards to fair entries, I will share my screen with you. This is our website for the Jackson County Fair. And to enter your fair entries, you're going to go up here to entries. Now, as I'm doing this presentation, feel free to comment. I will try to keep an eye on those as we progress and answer any questions as I can. And if not, I will answer your questions after we get done with the Facebook Live. But you're going to go up here to entries, and you will find your specific department. You can either look into the entire fair book if you want. And if you want to do it that way, or you can go into the individual departments that you're interested in. So if you are just exhibiting hogs at the county fair, you can click swine and just swine would pop up. If you're just interested in clothing, you can click clothing and just clothing would come up. Same thing for the open fair. As we're down here, just want to mention that if you are showing dairy or livestock, we do have some tabs for some resources with livestock and dairy. With livestock, there's the workshop tally, so you can find out if you have your YQCA. Also, the number of workshops that have that you have, and you do need 3 total workshops, including your YQCA, to exhibit at the Jackson County Fair. So in regards to the entries, we will minimize this and minimize the livestock resources and information. And we're going to click Fair Online Entries. And this is going to pop up a new screen. This is going to allow you to transfer over to Blue Ribbon. Now, basically, you have gone from the Jackson County Fair website into the Blue Ribbon website. We actually don't control Blue Ribbon. We just kind of control the software that's within there, the exhibits. So for those that are new, you're going to create an account. If you did your online entries last year, you will still need to create an account. These get repopulated every single year. So your account last year does not exist. You will still create a new account. So for this example, we're going to create an account for a junior entry, and we're going to click Junior 4-H FFA, and we are going to pick a club. For this example, I will pick the BT FFA just because I'm more cognizant of that one, and we'll put my name. And all of these are going to be required fields. Just get used to filling them in. additional email address would be for those who, say, like your club leader or your chapter leader. That's where you would put their additional email address. You don't have to have that. Or if there's somebody else that you would want to have access to what you submitted. A lot of your club leaders would go through and verify that you are actually eligible for exhibiting in that specific department. So you go through parents' names. Screwed that up. Let's see here. Birth date, I don't know. January 1st of 2008. That would make me like 14. Premise ID code would be for when you are exhibiting animals. You can put you could put in here so that we have it already. Whether one way or another, we're going to need your premise ID code if you are doing an animal project. This is where you're going to grade. I think 14's ninth grade. Premise ID, username. I'm just going to put AD 4010. So I have saved the account information. It's going to give me a prompt. I'm going to accept. And now we are in the home stretch of doing our fair entries. Now you will also get an email with a confirmation that you've created an account. For those families that have multiple exhibitors, so you got multiple kids that are doing fair entries, you must create a separate account for each exhibitor, but you can use the same email address. So just as a reminder, you must create an account for every single exhibitor, but you can use the same email address. So that means that they would all, be centralized into your main email. The other thing is if you have an exhibitor showing in junior class or junior fair and also wanting to show open fair, you also need to create two different logins or usernames, because one would be for your junior, one would be for your open. The other thing is that if you are exhibiting with two different organizations, so for instance, if you were going to show dairy with a breed organization and you were going to show beef through FFA, you would need to create a login for your breed association and create a login for your FFA. The logins are based upon the organization and junior and open. So just bear in mind that you may actually have multiple accounts, but that they all can be related to one email address. So hopefully that makes sense. So let's actually go in here and try to do some. All right, so Clover Buds. Clover Buds, that would be, let's see here. So if we open up the fair book, that would be, I believe, oh, goodness gracious. Where is Kim Ponterio? Where you need her? So that is, I believe, 50. Good question on Clover Buds. Thank you, Mary Geezy, for pointing that out. I will. Early childhood. Oh, sure enough. 50. That's what I'm looking for. So with Early childhood. You know what? I'm actually going to come back to the clover bud, just because I want to make sure I give you the right answer. And so instead of giving you the incorrect answer, I want to make sure that I do it correct. So once I get done with the live feed, I'm going to make a phone call and just verify, and I will submit a reply to your comment, Allison, regarding the fair entries for clover buds. Because I'm just not finding exactly what I was thinking of, and this is why I should do this always with another person. It would be helpful if Kim was here; she would know off the top of her head. But we'll get there. So, going forward, you will look at your entries. The example I'm going to give here is somebody that is showing. Let's go with Jersey. So we're going to open and expand Jersey, and they are going to be doing a grade spring calf. So you'll notice here that there's some differences. You'll want to look very closely at the lots. So up here is registered. Down here we see spring grade calf. And we're going to click add. That entry has been added. Then we're going to go up here, and I kind of like I like me some chicken. So we're going to go up here, and I am interested in possibly showing some. Wow, there's a lot of opportunities. Let's go quail. And we're going to do an old male quail. That's gotten added. So then once you get all of your entries put together, you're going to go to review entries. And this is your opportunity to look at what you have put together. This is correct. I wanted to do a grade spring calf Jersey. And I also wanted to do an old male quail poultry. Then I'm going to go to items and checkout. I'm going to click the box by affirming that you have read and understood the rules. You can click here for the fair rules, and you can even print a receipt. You'll get an email copy, but this would be an opportunity by clicking the fair rules, basically that you acknowledge that you have read and understand and that will abide by the National Show Ring Code of Conduct and things like that. So we will click submit. And you can double check your fair entries here, making sure that they are correct, the old male quail and the grade Jersey. The one thing that you will notice different, which is really different from previous years, is that you do not need to submit any sort of payment for your fair entries. We trust and realize that at some point during fair, you will purchase an entry into the fair. So actually, before, when you gave us $7 for your entry, that $7 wasn't to enter into the fair. That $7 was about getting a button or a season pass to fair. So instead of basically requiring you to pay up front, we're trusting that you will pay at some point in time, whether you pay for a day pass or whether you still get a button. So that's the big difference between the last year and this year in regards to payment. So you will get an email with a copy of this. So you will get an email for your account that you created, and you will get an email for the entries that you have submitted. You can add entries all the way up until the point in which entries are cut off, which is 11:59, June 25th. And you can't delete any, but you can always add. And then there are opportunities that if you saw that there was an error on the website, that you can send us a correction form. So if I'm going to go over here to the general fair entry, you will see that there is an entry tag correction form. And if you click that, it'll open up a form that you can fill out and send us if there was an error. So just in case after fair entry is done, there is a way that you can let us know that there's something that should be deleted. All right. Thank you, Mary. I'll get there shortly. Mary Geezy, shout out to you for sending me the text messages. Keep me on par. So what we're going to do then is log out, and I want to show you an example of. Yeah, I want to log out. I want to show you an example of an open entry form. All right. So for open exhibitors, and this could be somebody that's young, that's old, but you want to exhibit in open class. So you're going against people of all ages. The key is when you do open class, particularly for juniors that are doing open class, they think that they should click their club. They need to actually scroll all the way down to Club 900, which is open class. So everybody who's doing open class should always click 900 open class. And then again, it would be your first name, your address, all sorts of fun here. Let's give it wrong. And again, I can use the same email address because you can have as many user accounts per email as you wanted. Again, the additional email address would be if you wanted it to go to somebody else, whether it was your club leader. You wouldn't necessarily have to do that for open class, but it's always an option. Parents, okay. Good luck. Age, we'll do 14. Farm name would be if you're bringing animals. Premise code if you're bringing animals. Username, JD 4010A. Like a security question. Where were you born? And just like last time, we're going to save the account. All right, so we're in here for open class. Then we're going to go into entries, and this is just like the junior entries as we did before. You're going to find the departments that you want, and then you will find the entries that you want to do. So, for instance, clothing, we're going to do upcycled. And we'll do this one. Looks good. All right. So then we're going to review entries. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Somewhere I screwed up. Because the reason why I can tell that I screwed up is that this says Department 26. And Department 26 is a junior. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to see if I can edit. Yep, that's correct. Save account. All right, now we go back into entries. There we go. So you're going to want to go down to the 101 or the 100s and create your fair entries. So we were doing clothing. So 126. There we go. We're going to do teenage and men's suit. I'm going to create myself a men's suit. You will then go and review your entries. And the biggest thing to remember is with open entries, it's going to start with a 1. So it should be 1 something, 126. Junior entries start with a 0. So it'd be 0 whatever, 001. to 031. Class A men's suit. Going to review items in checkout, and we're going to click that we affirm this box with the rules. If you want to see the rules, you click there, and you hit submit. And again, you can review your fare entries and make sure that you did them correctly. So I am likely going to be doing another one of these because this could have done a much better job. I may even do it later on tonight just to have the video up on the air because this did not go exactly as smoothly as I anticipated. But with that is kind of the general synopsis of fare entries, and I am going to very quickly, once I get offline, look up that Clover button. Like I said, I just don't want to misspeak and then for it to get out there and it to be wrong. So with that, we will end for tonight, and we shall look at the fair coming up on June 25th is when fare entries are due. So with that, thank you very much. Good night.